shocking allegations in the October issue of Vanity Fair that claim that the Church of Scientology allegedly auditioned love interests for Tom Cruise. According to the article, one of the women was Nazan, how do you say it, babe?
Nazanin Boniadi.
Nazanin Boniadi. Beautiful, beautiful actress. We'd never seen her before. We spoke to the author of the piece on Good Morning America this morning, and here's what she had to say.
He wanted really a soulmate in Scientology, and he is considered by the head of the church, he has been called the second most important person in the religion. So he wanted someone, or they wanted someone that he could feel very comfortable with and be his soulmate in the religion.
That was Maureen's response to Elizabeth Vargas asking her, really? Auditions?
Yes.
Tom Cruise, would he need that?
Again, Maureen Orth there. Now, Tom Cruise's reps claim the report is false, and the Church of Scientology vehemently denies the allegation, saying, and I do quote, there was no project, secret or otherwise, ever conducted by the church to find a bride. The allegation and entire premise of the Vanity Fair article is totally false, end quote. Meanwhile, representatives for Katie Holmes say that she had no part in the article.
And joining us now for some insider perspective on Tom's relationship with Katie, we have the editor of PopGoesTheWeek.com and an entertainment contributor extraordinaire, Brian Balthazar and Katrina Szish. And Brian, I do want to start with you because, yes, thank you, I agree. Let's get in the pros, because this is dicey and tricky, and so we're going to talk with Brian because you spent some time traveling with Tom and Katie around the time of their engagement.
It was actually the time of the engagement. I was a journalist following them for the War of the Worlds tour. It was 2005, and I was in Paris with Tom and the gang when he announced he was engaged. And it was during that time that I was everything felt very much like a show for the cameras. This is, of course, my interpretation only. But there was one defining moment that I thought really spoke volumes. Now, have you ever been at a party where someone's making out right next to you? It's very uncomfortable. You know, it's like being in the front row at SeaWorld.
In like 11th grade.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. Yeah, especially, it's like being in the front row of SeaWorld, you know, worried you're going to get splashed. And that's the way it was here. I was on this private train. They had chartered a train for Tom and all the people from the film to go to Marseille, France for a premiere. And his train car, the first one, was his alone and Katie's. And they invited us for an exclusive of him driving the train, which it is on a track, but beside that. Anyway, so we got on the train. We were waiting for Tom. He was working the rest of the crowd. And then when he finally walked into that front train car, it was the most kind of natural and relaxed I'd ever seen him. But the minute that he saw us, he grabbed Katie and started making out with her in a very, very deliberate, obvious way. In a way, it was definitely for our benefit. Now, that doesn't say it wasn't a real relationship, but it just confirmed the idea that this felt so much like a show, that was something to prove that they were in love. And it was really uncomfortable because we were as close, if not closer, than we are right here. It was just a very awkward kind of feeling.
All right, and we want to ask you, Katrina. You've covered them for years.
Absolutely. I mean, really, since that infamous Oprah couch jumping moment, I've been covering this pair. And I mean, that moment sort of set the tone for this relationship. There were always very over-the-top, in-your-face displays of affection, always very public, as Brian pointed out. I've seen them on the red carpet, and it seemed like they were always sort of looking for that photo op when they could grab each other, do a little groping, a little making out. And if you see those pictures, they're always very awkward. It always looks like it's an uncomfortable moment. I think what we've also observed here, even when there are print interviews, they always sound very scripted. And again, it always sounds like there's certain things they have to say, that they have to say about each other. This just doesn't seem like a real relationship, in that it doesn't feel as comfortable.
Again, this is your interpretation.
Again, totally my interpretation.
This is your opinion.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Now, Katrina, we mentioned Katie Holmes' representatives actually spoke to it, saying that she had no part in the article written by Maureen Orth for Vanity Fair. Right. How is she doing, though, these days?
Katie's doing great. She's loving being here in the Big Apple, and she's going to be on Broadway again this fall in a comedy. She taped an episode of Project Runway, and reportedly during this week, which is New York Fashion Week, she will be debuting her Holmes & Yang collection, her fashion collection.
Good for her.
So Katie is back on track, doing great. Suri's ready to go to school, and they're doing great.
And Brian?
Well, again, I think it's interesting. I don't think that Katie had to have a part of this. In fact, what this article is claiming, that it was really the first effort was to find people within Scientology. So it remains to be seen how much Katie may have been a part of some sort of kind of auditioning process.
All right, well, we're going to leave that there. Again, Katrina, Brian, thank you both very much.
Thank you.